Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Fishing with TR. So it is Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day, and well guys, the wife gave me the green light to go fishing, so off I go. Anyway, my game plan this evening, I think I'm going to go upriver one more time. Flatheads, I know we're going to start spawning. They start after the blues. But last week, me and a fella was able to put a couple of 20-pounders in the boat, and I was able to put a 30-pounder the evening before. So I'm just going to go upriver one more time, catch some fresh shad, and just get in the old riverbed somewhere up ahead of some structure, and just see if we can't conjure up a flathead bite one more time. So next week, though, next weekend, after the work week is over, I'm kind of scratching my head and thinking about, what do I want to do next week. I'm a cat fisherman. I'm a cat fisherman at heart, and just by nature I get lucky and I catch a big striper now and then, because oftentimes they're in the same area, they're feeding on the same things. But since the catfish are really going to be spawning hard for about the next, say, 4 to 8 weeks, I still got the itch to fish, but what am I going to do to try to get a big tug on the line? I can't talk myself into gar fishing. I don't like them. Carp fishing, yeah, maybe. But, what I did some last summer is, during May and June, is I went down to the lower part of West Point Lake with some live brim, some live bluegill, and I was able to get on suspended striper bait or striper bite, and I'm thinking I may just start doing that a little bit. I need to force myself to learn the lower portions of the lake better. I mean, I really focus hard mid-lake and north, but I really want to be able to learn the lower part of the lake. So maybe the next 4 to 6 weeks, is going to be an opportunity for that. I've got a better bait tank. Last year when I tried this, I could keep, a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half bluegill alive in my boat's live well. But now that I got a decent bait tank, maybe I can keep a few dozen shad alive and really have time to fish that lower part. But anyway, guys, I hope you get to see this intro. That means I caught a good fish this evening. And next week, I hope to be able to show you whatever I make my mind up to do. I hope to be able to show you a different way to fish next week. Anyway, guys, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. And if you got a suggestion what can hold me over until this spawn is over, I want to hear it, guys. Appreciate it. Alright guys, we're in the bait hole. I don't know if you can see it. I see a lot of shad up here schooling. Last time I came up here to get bait, me and a fellow was in here last week. One throw, and we had enough bait to fish with the rest of the day. Have no idea what's going to happen today, but we'll see. Let's go get them. Mega shad. All right, we got a good collection of bait. They weren't quite as concentrated as they were last time I was here, but we got enough. I tend to overdo it on bait because you never know when you're really going to get into the fish. And I've already noticed there's a lot of gar and turtle up here in these shallow waters where I want to fish, so that means I have to be prepared to feed them too. Anyway guys, I'll see you when we get lines in the water. Wish us luck. Alright guys, so it's about 4 o'clock or a little bit after. I think what my game plan is going to be is to spot hop if I can make myself do it. I tend to overcommit to a hole, meaning, you know, I'll set up on the spot and I'll start catching fish, the bite will slow down, and then I'll just stick to it. And the more I fish, particularly the more I catfish, the more I learn that, you know, a fresh spot can generate fresh bites. And so the game plan, we'll give this spot about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then we'll jump to the next spot. So, you know, between now and dark, maybe we can hit 4 to 6 spots and see what happens. So anyway guys, wish me luck. You got the bait tank under you. Apologize for the noise. I'll try to remember to take the noise out when we hook up. Let's go. Whatever it is, we got it hooked up. Let's see if it'll holler. Let's see if it'll stay buttoned up. Whatever it is, it ain't big. Either that or it's swimming right to me. Good news, bad news, guys. The good news, the skunk's going to be out of the boat. Bad news, that is a tiny catfish. Seems like the only time I catch catfish this tiny is when the big ones are on the bed. But the good news is the skunk's out, guys, so let's keep working. Alright guys, spot number 2. So I heard Steve Douglas one time say, and I watched a video of his where he was spot jumping like I'm doing. And I seen Hayden Grubbs do it one time too, so shout out to two. I'm going to call them catfish icons, but anyway, when they spot hopped, they didn't go miles and miles, you know, a long distance between spots. They'd go short distances. So I was, you know, less than a quarter mile above where I am now just a few minutes ago, so the scent of my bait from up there, the current has carried it down here. So now perhaps the scent of my bait has waken up a few catfish or other fish that want to feed, and now I'm going to give them some more here. So let's see if that works. Anyway, it's a little after 5, so I put in about an hour on that other spot, and we're going to put in some time here. Let's see what happens. This has been messing my rod for a few minutes. I'm not a betting man, but it acted like a gar, swimming like a gar. Maybe it's a flathead, we'll see. Could be a turtle. Water's murky. I can see my sinker. I can't see the critter yet. Y'all, we hooked a dadgum turtle. Pretty good size one too. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show you the turtle. Then I'm gonna take my pliers down there and try to get my hook back. Big old soft shell. Look at that. You know, they're a good tug on the line. They're really bengy rod, but man, I hate fooling with them daggum things. All right, let's get him off. That hook is right by his mouth. This is going to be interesting. Alright guys, we're on spot number 3. It is, let's see, creeping up on 6 o'clock. So we basically dedicated an hour apiece to spot number 1 and spot number 2. And I'm going to show you what I caught, but basically spot number 1 was only a dinky little blue cat. And then spot number 2, I got turtled to death. I showed you one that I caught, but the rest of my rods kept bouncing. And when I reeled up to leave, I had several empty hooks. So that spot was a very shallow spot at a creek mouth. So I'm in a little deeper spot now. My hope is that we can get away from the turtle bite a little bit. I will tell you that if I ever get a hankering to garfish or carp fish, I know where to come. I have seen plenty of them. But anyway, here we are, spot number 3. One thing I told you earlier is that I like to overdo it on bait a little bit. One, I told you that the gar and the turtles are ferocious up in this part of the lake. But number 2, I put fresh bait on every time I move. I believe in fresh bait. But anyway guys, spot 3, let's see what happens. There's some weight to that one, guys. What we got yet. It made the rod bounce a few times before it hit, so I know it's not a blue cat. Still don't think it is. It's swimming right to us like a striper would. I'm gonna give this the best fish of the day no matter what it is. I can be wrong sometimes. It is a blue. Not a monster. But he got my heart pounding, y'all. You know, that's the reason I do this. Alright. So, blue. Little female. And a fun catch. I'll take it. That acts like a striper. That acts like a striper. He's feeling drag. Oh, he came off. Oh, that gum, man. Oh. Well, guys, that's the sound of heartbreak. There you go. All right. All we can do is try again. I thought this acted like a gar. Alright, so we got a gar hooked up here. Alright, so you saw him, right? I'm thankful I didn't have to bring that joker in the boat. There might be a day I come up here and target them guys, but it ain't today. Alright guys, it is about a 10 minutes, quarter after 7. This is spot number 4 and quite possibly our last spot. And spot 3 gave us a little bit more action. It may be because it's later in the day, but we've got about an hour or a little bit more until complete sundown. So this should be when fish are most active. I'm hoping for a good bite. Maybe we can get a good fish. I don't know. But we'll probably give this till about 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after. It is a work night. Unfortunately, we have to go back to the work world tomorrow. But if we're going to get a good quality fish, this is our last chance until next week. Here's hoping, guys. That's all I can say. Alright, we got a fish, but he's also got us hung up. Let's see if he'll pull us loose. this dude has been on my line for 45 minutes. Evidently he found a tree down there, and I was able to pull it out. Man, shout out to Bass Pro Shop 40-pound line, because it's tough stuff, but I'd had to get over the tree and just pull and pull and pull, and it finally came loose, and this guy's still attached. So spot number 4, it produced, guys. Let's go home. I know I ain't turned you off yet, but look at that tree in my line. That's crazy. Wow, I can't say enough about this line. I mean, I feel the phrase in it. I might have to change about 20 or 30 feet of this stuff, but man, I am impressed. Anyway, guys, I know I've just said a little bit of a wrap up, but next week I think I'm going to take the focus off of catfish a little bit, and I'm going to start doing some other things. I think what I'm going to do next week is go lower lake and suspend some baits over some timber and try to catch striper on purpose. I know the big ones are gone, but maybe we can hook up with some of the smaller ones. But anyway, I'm gonna have to set this rod aside so that I remember to take the phrase off of it. Anyway, guys, it's a good Sunday afternoon. Not a ton of fish, but all 4 spots produced some action. I'm happy with that. So anyway, till next time, guys, we'll see you. Have a good evening.